G'day everyone. I've just finished a commission project here of Norse Gaels from Gripping Beast. They're all metal. Took me a while. As usual, there'll be a bunch of photos at the end to give you a better idea of what's here. I haven't even counted them. Well, there's quite a few. I'll just lift the camera up so you can get a better idea. There they are. So you've got a lot of axe wielding maniacs there, and with some spears and swords sprinkled in, but mostly axes. There's a couple of hero character type figures at the back. This fella, he's one of the sort of largest sized, oversized sort of hero characters that Gripping Beast does. Now he's been converted on the request of the gentleman I did the commission for. He did have, I believe this was meant to be the shield hand, and this one was holding an axe. So what I had to do is convert it and cut off the axe and drill it out and put in this, because he wants to put a flag on here, make this his standard bearer, and rather than having a shield in his hand, he wanted the double-handed axe to go through that hand. Now I've looked because he's in a big box of stuff. There are flags for a bunch of other projects. There's like Welsh and Irish flags and stuff like that in there, but there's no flag that was specifically set aside for this figure that I can see, and I really have looked multiple times. So all I can guess is that he's going to put the flag on himself, the banner on himself. But yeah, hopefully that's coming into focus for you. So yeah, there was him. So as I say, a bit of conversion work there. Nice big heroic sized figure, and and the other guy who's on a large base was a character figure. This is Brode of Man, it's called. Gripping Beast. Yeah, this is the Gripping Beast version of Brode of Man, with this, I don't know whether he's able to dislocate his bottom jaw or something like that, but his mouth seems to be extremely wide open. It looks unusual. I don't know. I mean, it's full of character. It's a very characterful miniature. So, yeah. And he looks uncannily like there's an artist here in Tasmania by the name of Bill Flowers. And he looks uncannily like Bill, who I've known for a number of years. Yeah, he looks a lot like Bill. So he turned out pretty well. And so some of these guys, now I've got them all a jumble because I put them back up on here after doing the separate photographs. So you've got Hearthguard types, you've also got mercenaries mixed in here as well. So you've got some heavily armored like this guy, and then you've got others with just their tunics on, and others with cloth armor. Some Hearthguard types. I think this is one of the Hearthguard dudes. Now he asked me with a lot of them to stick shields on their backs, but only a couple of them actually had. Actually, I don't think any of the ones that he asked me to stick shields on their backs had any kind of straps modelled on for shields, but it's obviously something I don't know whether that's in the set, like how they're depicted on the Gripping Beast site with shields on their backs. But they're not modelled with straps to hold the shields, except for, say, someone like this dude here, who actually has the straps to hold a shield on his back. But well, that's fine. And he also got me to paint up some extra shields that he'll put on the backs of some existing miniatures. Yeah, so he sent me a couple of, I guess he's already started some of the figures from this Norse Gale range, because he sent me a couple of figures just to give me an idea of the basing. So the basing is a lot simpler, because the figures he sent had quite simple basing, with just sort of a bit like what you've got here, just with a couple of tufts. I've just used the wild grass tufts from Leadbear's tufts. Just use a couple of them per base, because that looked pretty much close as I could get to what he'd sent. Now, the two figures he sent, I don't try and match other people's paint schemes. I'll certainly paint colour schemes and things that people want me to paint and all that sort of stuff, but I can't paint in the style of XYZ person. And I found the flesh tones of the other two figures were really quite different to the flesh tones that I used. They were much more towards orange, which is not how I paint figures. But anyway, that's all cool. As long as, look, I think the basing will match in really well, and there's enough of them that it should they should look like pretty cohesive. Yeah, I don't think I'll attempt to show all of them to you. Some of them have got shield decals from Little Big Men Studios. There's a number of them, that others have, got little hand painted designs like this sort of Celtic design. There are some other ones. Oh yeah, just got simple. That's hand painted with sort of hand weathering kind of thing. That's a decal. What's that one? That's just a simple hand painted one. That's a simple hand painted one. Yeah, a few. Oh yeah, there. Maybe. Oh yeah, there's another one. Just nice and simple, but weathered in to not be too different in style from the decal shields. Yeah, that's most of the hand painted ones by the looks of it. Yeah, so a mix of decals and hand painted shields. So there you go. So that's that project, Norse Gaels, and I can't remember the name of them. There's a mercenary pack that you can get, but I think they can serve with a number of other different war bands. I haven't got it here in front of me to say what it was called. It's not Galaglass, it's something else. Can't remember. But anyway, so there they are, looking ferocious, wild axe-wielding maniacs, and I'm pretty pleased with how they painted up in the end. They look good as a group. Yeah, it wasn't without some sort of background difficulties and hardships that I've been doing this. Started out with the back pain was the prominent thing, and then yeah, we've had some domestic problems. We had to have some repair work done in the bathroom because the shower base had leaked, and while they were doing that, we discovered that there are leaks in the roof, so in the ceiling. So part of the ceilings had to come away. It probably won't be recovered by insurance because there's complications and things that were existing in the house before we bought it 18 months ago. So at the moment, we've got 3 places, 1 and 2 of which are in the room that I'm working in, where there are holes in the ceiling covered by plastic. So for part of the period as well, the house was in chaos while I was painting this project, and I had to go out and paint it on the dining room table for 2 or 3 days. We had dehumidifier machines in here for days on end. Everything covered in plastic. It's been pretty stressful actually, and we're not out of the woods yet. Obviously, we've still got these holes covered in plastic, but first we have to wait till we can get a contractor to come fix the roof. And there's no point fixing the ceilings while the roof's not fixed, because the water will just get in again. And the work that was done in the bathroom isn't quite finished yet, because although they fixed the shower base and put a new shower in, now the shower has some plumbing issues and it won't stop dripping, and it's just crazy. So, and as someone who has a stress related illness and a number of other issues, it's been pretty tough. It's been pretty tough on the family. For a while there, my wife and I were sleeping out in a borrowed camper van outside the house because we couldn't sleep in our bedroom because of holes in the ceiling and things and dehumidifiers. So yeah, it's to that kind of crazy backdrop that I've been working on this commission. So, you know, not as hard as some people have got it, but it has sucked a bit, and I'm just hoping and praying that in the next few months it all gets resolved and we've still got some money in the bank and we've got a dry house and can keep soldiering on. Yeah. Anyway, guys, there it is. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the slideshow afterwards. And any questions or comments, please leave it down in the comment section below. I really do try to reply to everyone, even if it's just thanks, you know, a thank you. But if you've got any questions, I do try my best to answer them. I don't, like I've said to other people, I don't always list what paints I've used, because with a project like this, I'm working through in stages. I'm putting up like 8 figures at a time or something of that nature, and then because everyone's different, I'm using different sets of paints, and you know, I use a lot of different colors as I work through, and there just simply isn't time to note them all. But I mean, there's a lot of colors that get reused for things like, you know, woods and leathers, and obviously the flesh tones and stuff, and hair, and that you know, come round again and again in projects. So, but yeah, happy to try and answer any questions. I hope you enjoy seeing the miniatures. I've certainly painted Norse Gaels before for Saga, but they have been by and large footsore miniatures, so it is really nice to paint a different range. You know, as far as I know, my understanding is that there's the Gripping Beast Norse Gaels, and yeah, it was nice to paint something different, and I think, you know, I'm happy with how they turned out, and hopefully the customer will be pleased as well. Next up, I think there's a lot more sort of sections to this sort of this series of Dark Age projects, but what I like to do is switch around between my different customers. So, you know, and I've got in the queue, I've got some the English Civil War miniatures that I have painted before, but these are some different ones made by Bloody Miniatures, 28mm metal, full of character. Should be a real hoot to paint. I haven't even opened the parcel to have a look at them yet, because I wanted to stay focused on what I was doing, and with everything else going on, it was all a bit crazy. So I'll start to have a look at those next, and yeah, that should be great fun. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and look after yourselves. All the best, and bye for now.